Hi, I'm Deb Dedrick, high performance life and business coach, here with tip for the day: how to build a happier life and a stronger business. I have so much experience in this. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm I'm a third generation family business owner. I was raised in a family business, and I know from way back then how difficult it is to work with family and to get along with family, and how to not gray the areas from when you are working and then from where you go home. And so my focus for this year, and I'm going to build out my podcast around this for Secret Happiness Habits, is how to create happier relationships at work so you can have happier relationships at home. Because honestly, if you can't get along at work, it's very hard to leave those feelings at the door. I can remember when I was 16, and this wasn't my first job. I got my first job when I was in the 5th grade. And of course, I was a Girl Scout for years and years. So I always was trying to raise money to go on trips and to raise money for whatever thing I wanted to buy. I was always loved shopping even back then. And so way back in the 5th grade, I started babysitting, and I always had my own money. But around the time I was 16, my grandpa, who had his own business, I went to work for him. And I can remember thinking, oh, my grandpa was like the most wonderful thing ever. He was kind and generous. He always listened to me. He was a workaholic, which a lot of people are that own their own business. But he worked Monday through Friday, and he worked half a day on Saturday. But what I remember was when I went to work for him and I didn't do something right at work, he would yell at me. And I was like, I can't believe he's yelling at me. And he was hateful. And then when I would go home, he would be like nothing happened. And I would really struggle with getting over my hurt feelings from work and leaving those feelings at the door. And that happened regularly. It happened with other family members. And so over the course of my lifetime, since I've always worked in a family business, I've seen how working together, if you don't have clear guidelines, can really erode and ruin relationships, and it can erode your personal confidence. So over the next 12 months, I'm going to really work on creating content that will help you, that you can apply either in your family, to get along better with your family members, or if you want to apply these at your business. So that's why I call it life and business. So for creating a stronger business or a happier home life, and you can think these three. You can think these will both apply for your business and for your family. But my goal here is to give you some frameworks that you can begin to think about how you can approach situations differently, so you can have more happiness, which is what we all want, right? So number one, I got a lot of this framework from the Traction book. And at the very end, when I talk about tiny habits, I got that from Tiny Habits, which is a great book if you want to get it. It's from BJ Fogg. Get that over there it's BJ Fogg, F-O-G-G. Get that over there on Amazon. So number one, identify your core values for your business or for your family home, because nobody really teaches you this. What are your core values for your family? Do you all have the same values? What about at work? Are you all on the same page? Because you're going to find you are not on the same page. But creating a team spirit or a unified vision will help you get along a lot better, and you'll be pulling together instead of maybe pulling in different directions. And try to limit these to 3 words. And you can look up values and get lots of words over there on Google. So look those up. Number 2, once you've decided and you've met with your team and your family, and you've worked through your disagreements and who wants this and who wants that, and maybe this won't work and maybe this will work, pick your words and agree. Number 3, on a side note, keep in mind you're not going to agree, because how could you ever agree on core values? Just try to keep the 3 most similar to who you're around, and then compromise. That's always good. Number 4, and you can do the same for family as you're doing for your business. Set a 10-year goal of how you want your life or your business to look, and get a real clear vision of this. Write it down and write down what it looks like, how it feels, what you're doing. I mean, really, like maybe you're writing a novel. Make it really, really clear so you can see it in your mind's eye, and then reverse engineer it back from 10 years. And you don't have to go out that far. You can go 5 years, 3 years, and down to 1 year. And then you're going to break those 1 year down into 12 months, into weeks and days, and even hours, and make sure you do something every day on that. Then, depending on what your goals are, you're going to assign tasks or goals or projects to each one of your family members or your teammates, and then you're gonna decide and understand what the deliverables are. You know, what your expectations are, what the objectives are, when they're due, what exactly they need to provide to you, and you need to provide to them, so that you're creating teamwork and you're moving your little life forward, your family life or your business life. It's so much fun working together, getting along together in team. And that's why I brought up in the very beginning, if you are working together and you want to create a happier life in family business, you have to be respectful of others and understand you're not always going to agree. And going forward from there, tracking progress daily, doing something every day, and it doesn't even have to be a big thing. You could go small. You could do a little thing. You could do just one little thing every day. That's what I love about that Tiny Habits book, because as you do these tiny little things and you shift the behaviors that you are settled on, you can shift your behaviors in a different way. You can totally transform your life, not overnight, by changing what you do every day and breaking it down a little by little and doing more and more and more. So, you know, today, thank you so much for joining me on how to build a happier life and a stronger business. My mission as your coach is to give you ideas and ways of thinking about things that maybe you haven't. You know, I went for so many years and repeated the same habits and behaviors over and over and over again and got the same unhappy result that I always got, and that sent me on my journey to find solutions to why I stayed stuck, how I could get out of the habits, how I could help others, how I could maybe take everything that I've learned and box it into a little daily videos that you can listen to and implement right into your life, so you can create a happier life and avoid and sidestep a lot of the pain and suffering that I went through. It's worked for me, and I know it will work for you. So thank you so much for joining me today. Until tomorrow, go out in the world and be a positive role model and influencer for good. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm going to sign off to that now. Peace, love, and God bless.